Hello everyone, my name is Don Rodolfo. Welcome at Casa de los Santos. I'm going to give you a little introduction in who I am, what it is that we do at Casa de los Santos. So if you're interested in occultism, shamanism, witchcraft, sorcery, and more, stay tuned.
Palumbrista ready now. Y Lulis en la cama, pelear me entrena. Mara Palumbra roll. No es pa' los débiles, no es pa' los ciegos. Esto es fuego, fuego, fuego. Lucifer en la mente, Lili me tienta, me prende. Belial rompe las cadenas, sigo el camino que enciende. Aquí no hay miedo, solo poder.
Welcome back everyone at Casa de los Santos. Again, my name is Don Rodolfo, and I'm going to make a little introduction about who I am, what it is that we do at Casa de los Santos, because I think it's very important to share this information before we go in depth with esoteric teachings that I share at Casa de los Santos. First of all, what is Casa de los Santos? Casa de los Santos is the house of the esoteric teachings that people receive, so members who are connected with Casa de los Santos, and Casa de los Santos means house of the saints, but that does not mean that we are saints, of course. But we call it Casa de los Santos for a reason, and in another video I will explain why I call it Casa de los Santos. But Casa de los Santos is a community where I have students, and I am a Padrino of my students that I guide in the art of Mara Palumbra. And Mara Palumbra is a fusion of different esoteric arts that is combined from shamanism to witchcraft, sorcery, and necromancy, and where we work with Sefirotic magic and the Qliphothic magic. Okay, but again, I'm not going in that kind of topics also, because I will make other videos about Mara Palumbra and why it is created, because I did not only created it, I did it in collaboration with the powers of the Qliphothic and the powers of the Sefirotic, okay? But I'm going into all these topics later, not now. So now I just want to introduce myself about what my expertise is and so on. And the last 35 years, I have developed myself in the occult field. I have worked with a lot of shamans from South America, from Peru, Bolivia, and from Mexico, but also with Aghori from India. That was also a very, very special time and very crazy stuff that we did there. You could say that they are very skilled in necromancy work, and have seen very, very crazy shit, I can tell you. But the last 35 years I have developed myself in different branches, where I also got initiated not only in working with Western magic, but also in Santeria and in Palumbrista. I went to Cuba for this, and also this is a topic that I'm going to mention later, because I think there are some things that need to be mentioned. But in the last 35 years, I have done so many things, and then at a point where I was working, because before I started to work with Santeria, before I started to work with shamanism, I was already working with primal gods. Hecate is one of them, also with the Ars Goetia, of course. But at one point, the powers of the Qliphothic and the Sefirotic, they came to me, and we started to have a conversation, you could say, where I got invited to bring all my knowledge together and to create a esoteric art, what we call Mara Palumbra, um, free from rules, free from chains. And Mara Palumbra is you could say, a rebellion system, because we don't like to be chained. We don't like to stick on rules that you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you know. And I have seen in the past in different kind of systems that you cannot move freely because you are always bound by certain rules. And I think that's, for me, and I'm just speaking from my experience, okay? Whatever, what other people do, it's on to them, but in my experience, it always felt as a red flag. Because if you are sticked by rules, you cannot evolve. And Mara Palumbra, what I have created with strong forces from the Qliphothic and from the Sefirotic, it was very important that we needed a system free from rules, but where you have the influence from the shamanic practice, from sorcery, witchcraft, Latin, Mesoamerican, Afro-Caribbean tradition, where we have this fusion of all these traditions that I have learned the last 35 years, and I have specialized myself in all these branches of course. So yes, and that's why one day I started to make my own house, and this house, what we have, is called Casa de los Santos. Casa de los Santos means House of the Saints. It does not mean that we are saints, of course, so make no mistake about that, because that's not what this is about. Casa de los Santos is House of the Saints, where we work with different kinds of branches of the esoterics, and where we are not bound, not limited by rules, okay? So, because this is very important. Also, what we do at Casa de los Santos, I'm going to be very honest about this, is not for the faint of hearts. And because I know a lot of people who come from the New Age spirituality, they have maybe an idea that magic is for everyone, but in reality it's not. Because what we do at Casa de los Santos is, in reality, the Sefirotic and the Qliphothic magic, where we work with the powers of the Sefirotic and the Qliphothic. And at Casa de los Santos, we have Palumbristas, those who walk the path of the Sefirotic. They are right-hand path, yeah. And those who are left-hand paths, who walk the path of the dragon, the path of the Qliphothic, they are called Palumbrista Maestros or Maestras. And I'm a Palumbrista Maestro. I'm the Padrino of Casa de los Santos, and I guide people in the art of Mara Palumbra. And Mara Palumbra is a system, it's a right and left hand system, okay? Why is it a right and left hand system? Because we don't believe that you can only walk on one leg, because you need right and you need the left, okay? You need high and you need low, okay? Because the right hand part is connected with your higher self, and your left hand part is connected with the subconsciousness. And the Qliphothic is connected with the subconsciousness, and the Sefirotic is connected with the higher self, okay? So But like I said, I'm not going into those topics now. I'm just making a little introduction in what it is that we do. So I hope you are interested in these teachings that I'm going to share in other videos, and maybe so now and then we will share also some kind of rituals, so you can enjoy those also. Yeah, so I think this is it for now. I hope you stick around and you're curious about what it is that we're going to share in the future. And I will see if it is possible to do every week or once in the 2 weeks to make a video where I explain the work that we do in Casa de los Santos, the teachings that we share, and like necromancy, working with the powers of the Qliphothic or the powers of the Sefirotic, and so on. So, having that said, I hope you will come back at Casa de los Santos YouTube channel so we can share more information. And please like and subscribe also. So the more people subscribe and like our videos, the more content that we can make. And there are lots of other information that I'm going to share in the future. And one of the information I'm going to share already now, and that is that if everything is going according plan, in 2026, we are going to launch internationally the initiations for Mara Palumbra. But again, I am going into the topics about Mara Palumbra and what it really is, and if you are curious, you can already go to our website, that is casadelosantos.eu, and you can read what it is that we do, and of course at our media channel, media page, you can hear also there all kinds of music about Mara Palumbra and even more. Yes? So, thank you for your presence here, and I hope to see you next time. See you then. Ciao, ciao.
En la penumbra de la noche voy a caminar, Mara Palumbra, deja que te cuente mi verdad. Mara Palumbra, soy un palumbrista, uno con la tierra, el universo y la fuente viva. Trabajo con los muertos, la santa muerte, susurran sabiduría, siento su fuerte, y los dioses guían mi caminar. Los secretos de algo es que me vienen a revelar. Lucifer, Lilith, Belial son mi guía, por la Qliphothic y la Sefira son